Hey, Scuttlebutt listeners, thank you for joining us again. Here we are at the closing now of day 3, here with William.
Howdy.
And we're here with Lieutenant General Charles Chiarotti, sir. What are some of your thoughts here as we wrap up Modern Day Marine?
Well, I'm tired.
I bet.
You know, it's been an action-packed
Did you
week,
do a step count each day?
Oh,
so
yeah. You know, I was talking to Marta, and I think she was like at 16,000 steps per day, you know. And so it's like, no, I didn't keep step. But, you know, what a fantastic week we started on. We really started on the weekend, and then, you know, we end up today on Thursday. But a lot of different activities. And what was really good, if you were able to attend all the briefs and panels like I did, the messaging that is coming out of the Marine Corps is so consistent. Mm-hmm. And I believe that really, when, you know, the Commandant asked me on Saturday night, we were at an event together, and he said, you know, what is your metric of success? And, you know, from a business standpoint, you look at it, well, you know, it's, you know, how many folks do you get here? You know, how many vendors are on the floor and all this other stuff. And I do believe from a business standpoint, that's
sure.
a good metrics. However, really, you know, and to turn the question on the Marine Corps and the Commandant is, you know, are we hitting the messaging that the Commandant needs us to hit for him? Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't, as you know, we don't develop the themes and messages and all that, but we enable that to be communicated. And Modern Day Marine, for me, at least personally, I think of it as a communications platform for the Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. And it's the ability to you know, hear from senior leadership of the Marine Corps the concepts of and the future vision of the Marine Corps, and then bring them together in an intersection between that and industry partners. You know, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I believe having, you know, heard the consistent message from the Marine Corps, I believe that was received from our industry partners, and you know, as I go around at least and assess through, you know, one-on-one conversations and everything else, I feel very confident that we've been able to achieve, you know, the desired end state of a modern day Marine for the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So I feel very pumped up and positive. But like I said, you know, late night events, early morning
sure.
breakfast, you know, it's
sure.
it's a long week.
Well, it's been an absolute, pleasure from us here on our high horse.
Yeah,
our elevated platform.
That's right, looking down upon the minion. But I will say, so, you know, as we see wargaming over here, you know, we see industry partners, we see emerging technologies. Yeah. It's really easy, I think, to look at just the surface and see it as being just a gear expo. But like you said, sir, it's so much more. The messaging, I think, is really within like the fabric of what this expo is doing.
You know, I've kind of gone away from this military expo. I've kind of thought personally for myself, and it's something that I'm going to resonate with the team and more. It's an experience. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Modern Day Marine, in our vision, and is really about the experience of understanding professional military education, enhancing.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is, you know, you've got you know, years past we had platforms that, you know, enabled vendors and industry partners to show their wares, and we looked at them with all that. But when you're able to intersect you know, the theory, the concept, the requirements, just from a military capability standpoint, as well as really target professional military education and those issues that are most relevant to the Marine Corps, it goes beyond a military expo, and it really starts to, it becomes a journey.
Sure.
You know, yesterday I was sitting in the spouses resource event, and, you know, and here we are. We're so far removed from, you know, what Modern Day Marine Military Expo is about, and we're into an experience.
Yeah.
And, you know, in fact, coming away from that, you know, I spoke with, you know, Marta Sullivan. I said, you know, what we want to do now is we want to take all these resources that we've learned from our from this experience, and we're going to bring them down to our force locations. And so what do we do good? We do events. We do events really well, right? So we go to the MEFs and we'll do a dinner. We'll do a PME event for the MEF commanders, and then we'll have a targeted spouses event. So we'll have a package to deliver. And it's really as a result of just being exposed to all that we have this past week and seeing where we can find opportunities and opening up. So really positive event experience, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely,
sir. It really is.
And we're even we were talking before we started recording. Kyle Carpenter.
Oh my
here.
gosh.
I mean, so we're looking at that sort of holistic experience of being what it means to be a Marine and what it means to look at the future of how the Marine Corps is going to look and operate.
We are, and we used to be, I think, for all reasons, we used to be, very good at telling our story. I think Marines are really good at that. I mean, we know our history, and we're the first ones to tell you about it, and I think we've got to get so much better at telling about our future and our needs. I think that's something that and this is an opportunity for that.
Sure.
We're humble by nature. We're not bravados or anything else like that, and so getting the word out and really trying to use all of the tools available to us to enhance that message out is great. And you get somebody like Kyle Carpenter, and we're just talking about him. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I mean it. Listening to him, you just see the human that he is. I mean that wholeheartedly. He's just a genuinely good person, and I was just so struck every time. Just listening to him, reading his book, the whole 9 yards. So.
Yeah, as you know, I'm rarely at a loss for words, but there wasn't a lot that I could say when it came to him. It was just, I was awestruck, truly.
Yeah. You just want to listen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it. Just, Kyle, keep talking.
That's right.
So, sir, this is your second modern-day Marine as the president and overlord of the Marine Corps Association. What are some of, I guess, the highlights as you've seen that we've done differently this year as compared to previous years? And do you have any, it's maybe a bit early, but any potential plans or evolutions for the upcoming next year?
Yeah, I think a couple of really strong points. Number one, I'm just so proud of our team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You both know we are we fight probably 3-4 levels above our weight class. I mean, we do. We've got a handful of folks on staff, and everybody does windows, right? I mean, and when you see what's possible with, this is possible. What we've seen this week, and I think that is just a strong point of our relationship with the Marine Corps League is as solid as ever, and I think through the past 2 years we've evolved that, and it was one of the mandates that I was asked to do, both from our chairman, our previous chairman, as well as from the commandant as well too. Was hey, we need to improve that relationship, and we have, and I think we are, in this space, which is modern day Marine, and in others, we are we are tied at the hip, and we're one team. There's always room for improvement, and I think that in a business world like we live in for modern day Marine, because we are partners with also Emerald, we have to be able to expand, and we have to be able to grow, because the Emerald, which are really the logistics and I guess the event coordinator for all of this. They have expectations, and so we have to enhance that. We have to enhance the experience, and we have to be able to continue to grow, but not grow beyond our capacity or capabilities, but grow in a qualitative, measurable way. So that people look back at the end of the week and they go, I really learned something. It wasn't a waste of my time. There was value for me being here, and that's from everybody, from the participants, the guests, if you will, all the way through to the vendors and everybody else. If you can get that, I think you hit a home run.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you that the majority of the folks that I've spoken to have been very positive and very, just great comments. And it's a result of our team, and you guys know that team. So I'm extremely proud.
Awesome.
Well, again, General Chiarotti, thanks for coming on our show.
Really
it's
appreciate taking the time.
Always great to have you on.
Right. Were you guys here this week?
We just got here a few minutes ago, so it looks awesome.
You kind of had to look up to see us.
That's right.
You caught me as I was trying to get some swag, so I'll get back to it, sir.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Sir. Thank you.
Great work this week. Thanks.
Scuttlebutt is a production of the Marine Corps Association. I am William Trudy, but you've also heard the voices or contributions of Vic Rubel, USMC retired, Nancy Lichman, retired Frazier. The opinions expressed in this episode do not reflect the official stance of the Marine Corps, DoD, or Marine Corps Association.